Hi guys, welcome to the podcast with me, Millie, and Han.
Hi.
Hi guys. Little intro. You take it away, the name, the brand.
So welcome to Two Blondes is Better Than One. There's two of us. Hi.
And we're blonde.
And we wanted to just start up a little, I guess, kind of bikini-based podcast, but also just a general life chit-chat.
Yeah.
It sort of started with our podcast voice notes, didn't it?
Oh my god. So it's one of those, when we nearly called it voice note confessions because it was like the amount of voice notes we do per day. And then we're like, oh my god, imagine if we had a podcast, and us thinking we're hilarious and
obviously.
insightful and have so much knowledge to give. They were like, let's just do a podcast. And both kind of found that there was a bit of a gap. Like, it's very, not just the sport that we're in, but it is quite male dominated. And not that we're coming in here being like, yeah, female women only. Like, it's more so kind of having a voice for women in general in the fitness industry, not just bikini or bodybuilders. So that was a gist.
And I guess just sharing things outside of prep too, because there's a lot of prep diaries on YouTube, and not a lot of people cover the off season and things like going away on holiday or dealing with family relationships and just everything that happens general. That impacts bodybuilding so much.
Just even when people panic about going on holiday or just general girly chit chat as well. We were talking about Q&As that we want to do, segments, and just our take on things, because I don't know about you, but I get messages even on Instagram, or not just coaching related, but oh, how did you deal with this, and how did you cope with X, Y, and Z, and when this happened, what was your and it's just girly chat, girly tea, Q&As.
And I guess just sharing that a bit further than what we maybe do on Instagram anyway, kind of a little insight, and you've said, just a kind of conversation and opening up that conversation too, which is difficult to do on your own individual platform, because again I do get a lot of messages saying thanks for sharing this and stuff like that. So just kind of continuing that in our off season, and again when it does get to prep, hopefully documenting that too, and talking about shows and all of the fun stuff that is yet to come.
Oh my god, no. As well, we were talking about guests having on, and oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm we've just done the introduction and we're like, oh my god, yeah, we're gonna do this,
we're gonna do this and this.
That's literally what we do. I feel that is a yap. If you know us, I feel like both of us could yap for hours.
Oh yeah.
Individually and together is dangerous.
Yeah, so welcome to the yappiest podcast
that you will ever be in.
Ever.
About everything and anything. Yeah. But no, the idea is as well, in our next, in the next one that we do, we'll do a Q&A so that we can have all of the girlies, and everyone can send in their questions, can sit back and answer it. Obviously there'll be more to talk about this time, whereas now I feel like it's more of an intro to us. But I was going to introduce you. So obviously you're Han, half the pod, one of the blondes. So tell me a bit about you. Tell me a bit about how you got into competing, what your plans, history in that sense. So you go for it.
Yeah, so I started with Ross at Team Pro Coach. Obviously have to give him the biggest shout out ever.
Give him the plug.
Exactly. Started with him in April, I think it was 2022. First and only coach that I've been with. God, it's a long relationship.
The longest.
Yeah, literally. And just started in kind of, I guess I'd been following a few pros, mainly Laurelie. I remember showing a picture of Laurelie to him in my little chat when we got started, and I was like, oh, you see her? I kind of want to look like that. And he probably at the time thought, here we go. Another bikini girl that is just obsessed with Laurelie. But that is what started me. Exactly, started me on my journey. That is actually how I started posing as well. just watching Laura Lee pose at different shows, and that's how I kind of got started with that. And we just sort of went into, I guess, a growing phase and getting familiar with this style of training and sort of the demands in terms of like food, which I hadn't sort of experienced before, and just getting used to that. And then the rest is kind of history. So I've done 2 seasons now, and very much enjoying the off-season vibe.
She's fully in and out. How many weeks post show, you know?
I think it's 11.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's been 11?
Yeah.
What have we been doing?
This. Yapping.
How's that been 11?
I know.
That's vile.
Yeah.
No. Since the last show, or like...
No, since London.
Stop. Oh yeah, it was September, wasn't it? That, sorry, can you tell I'm baffled? I'm like, what have we done in 11 weeks?
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's
I guess that's sort of a brief intro.
Love that.
To me.
Well, you were saying about the, like, I think one of the topics we wanted to talk about in terms of, like, your experience when it came to eating a bit more, and your experience to, like, going into an off-season for the first time, like, growth phase. And that's something I definitely want to, like, we will go into, and, like, obviously we talk about the lighthearted stuff, but there's some serious topics in terms of, you know, food, body image, how that was going through that time, things to, if you are going through a growing phase, like, things to keep in mind when we're doing that.
Yeah, I definitely feel that's like a podcast episode all by itself, because it'll be such a useful thing to talk about as well, especially for, you know, if it is people's first time competing too, because I always joke about it with Ross being like, oh my god, the first time he told me to have an off plan, I had a pizza and had half and then cried. Whereas now I'll have a pizza and be like, okay, where are the cookies?
Innit? Yeah. You'll be like, I'm not even full, that's just a snack.
Yeah. And like oats always. I'll never finish a day without a bowl of oats.
You could literally be so full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
vibes.
That's definitely like another topic to cover.
Yeah.
Just to sort of talk about everything around that too. But yeah. What about you? Where was your journey starting?
Oh God. My journey started, it was 2020, and I just finished my first, it was like after the pandemic, but it was like that weird in between phase where it was like, we're kind of in, we're kind of not. And I had signed up to my first coach in 2020, and I looked at these girls, in particular the girls at the time who was in the industry, like winning shows, so like Becky Dean, Jess Garrington. I remember looking at them, and I think they'd won like I think it was PCA at the time, 2019, and I was like, oh my god, imagine, like you look at them and you don't want to make it like aesthetic, but like you look at them and you think, oh my god, that's mental, like imagine if I looked like that. And I'd previously been introduced to that world anyways, so I kind of knew what I was doing. And my housemate, funny enough, at the time, who, I say this all the time, I'm a big believer of who I meet, but my housemate, who I barely knew, she had said like, oh, I've always wanted to compete. And the coaching team that I went with at the time, she had done a couple of months, like a mini cut in the summer. So we were both kind of like, if you do it, I'll do it. So I was like, yeah, let's go. So signed up in the September. We did like a little mini cut, and it was like in and out of lockdown. And then my whole like kind of bulking phase, the same as you, had the same experience of like, oh my god, I've got to eat more. I was on like so much food. And from the January to the April, like my like building phase was in lockdown, and then I started prep end of May, June.
So was that like without the gyms and everything as well?
Yeah. So I had like a month of like technically my off season. So in 2020, like September, October time 2020, I decided I was like, all right, I'm gonna compete. Didn't tell a soul. Like the only reason people knew in 2021 when I was actually in prep was because I was at the gym and they were concerned that I was looking unwell. And I was like, no, I'm actually just competing for a bodybuilding competition. And then I competed that season. I did PCA first timers, and I was like, I think I was second call outs. There was 12 girls. They put us both like short and tall together. I think I was like 6th or 5th. And then I did a show 3 weeks later, and that was my first NPC show. So I did 2 rows. Classic Maidenhead, bodybuilding, Disneyland.
Stunning
vibes, all the vibes. Yeah, and then I did that one, and I did better in that show. Then had a big off season for 2 years, and I had my last season last year.
Yeah.
1 year into an off season. Another year
to go.
And then we'll compete.
And I just want to go back to that, like, looking ill comment, because I think that's another thing that should be touched on at some point, and going back to, you know, families and how to talk to your families about wanting to compete.
Yeah. Because it's not easy.
Like, and things that can come up, you know, parents not knowing anything about the sport or not knowing what to say, because obviously right towards show, you know, we do tend to end up not looking our best. Looking our best physique, but when you're wearing normal clothes, obviously it's
borderline, like,
not normal.
No.
At
like,
all.
We laugh at it at the time, and then you look back and you think, but I look back on pictures and things, and granted, like, we can talk about, that's another topic of like preps and, you know, when things are not going how they should be and how to deal with that when you do get to it. But it was like, my family are the most supportive, like, now, but like I still get the comments, and like, it's like how to handle them comments, because they don't understand, and like, if they are coming at you, it's more of probably a place of concern, because it is concern, and you are starving your body. Like, and especially, I know we both have said about having a previous history with disordered eating, like that can be another topic of like how to handle that. But
yeah, it was like once in a flat that I used to live in, I had my meal plan written on a piece of paper on my fridge, and one of my meals was like the typical white fish, that type of thing, greens, green
fish and
beans,
a rice
you know,
cake.
that, fish and a rice cake. And it was, you know, meal 1, meal 2 broken down like this, and my mum thought it was like that was the meal for the day, and obviously that really stressed her out, and I then had to explain, like, no, that's meal 3, not day 3.
That's meal 3 out of 6.
Yeah, so like, don't worry.
Yeah, you're good.
But it's like all of those little conversations that you just don't even think you're gonna have, and like, there's nothing to prepare you for those conversations when they happen, and you're like, how do I explain this?
Or even just weighing your food out, weighing your food and your salt out, and then being like, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, I need to weigh this out. And they're like, can't you just like guesstimate it? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
All hell breaks loose if the batteries are dead. That's all I'm saying. Like,
don't even talk to me about.
so
side note.
On the weekend, so Han stayed at mine the weekend. Am I explaining the story?
No, you can explain it.
I feel like we're like a little couple. Like, no, you go. You say the domestic. Han stayed at mine, and we got in quite late. And bearing in mind what it was, we went out for drinks.
It was like after midnight.
It was after midnight, but like she had snacks, she'd had drinks. It was like an even off plan, but she'd come back in to have her oats, and I've gone to bed. But she had no, like, my batteries had run out of my batteries?
Yeah.
My scales ran out of batteries.
Yeah.
I had no charge. She had to guesstimate everything, and the wobble that I experienced the next morning, being like, I don't think you understand. She went to the shop and bought 12.
So this is the first time I've like free poured my oats. So I free poured them, just put a random amount of water in, a random amount of whey, just a spoon of peanut butter.
Just imagine you at 1 a.m. staring at the bowl like,
brother,
what do I do?
So yeah, that was, 2.5 years or something into the journey, however long it is. We're still on a learning curve. So that's what we're going to bring to the podcast, because we're learning alongside everyone else.
I learn so much about myself every day as well.
Yeah, one of them being that I do just like to weigh my oats.
Yeah,
I did buy you 12 batteries.
She got back in, she was like, there's batteries, so you'll never run out again. Okay, thanks, Mum. But yeah,
you're welcome.
But that was a lovely little introduction to the pod. I feel like we've settled in now.
Yeah.
grab a snack, guys. Get close.
I've got some biscuits in my bag. It's fine.
Have you got snacks?
Yeah.
I meant to the viewers. Yeah, that's not a question. You've got. Han always has snacks.
Yeah.
Snack queen.
Snack queen.
Oh, that's another thing we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Snack segment.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna find snacks and
rate the snacks. Don't worry, we're not gonna be eating on the microphone because
that's like ASMR. That's like that's when you get really close to the microphone.
I know, but like the sound of chewing.
You know what that used to be a thing.
Actual fear against that.
Do you know what that used to be a thing for me to watch on prep? Like I could not listen to it any other time, but the back end of prep when I was like I have no food focus, and I'd be watching like how many sausage rolls can you eat in 60 seconds? Like ASMR.
It is literally the weird things that it makes you do, isn't it?
Yeah, like
but like imagine watching that now, you'd just be like,
I'd be like, brother,
turn that on.
I get bad enough when someone sat opposite me and like chomping loud. I'm like, I'm really sorry, but like,
get the crisps out like.
that's satisfying. Like crispy lettuce when it's like.
Yeah, but lettuce, not like crisps.
My dad does that, like a whole packet in one go, but like mouth open, crisps everywhere. That sends me.
Shake it on me.
Dad plug there.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. Welcome to the pod. But yeah. Oh yeah, I forget we can't really cough into this. This is all new to us as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we were planning on not on just only the YouTube as well. We want to take it on. No, it is the YouTube, not on Spotify. Not only on Spotify, also on YouTube.
Yeah.
We have like when it comes up to show season, comes up to like day in our lives, things like that. Having like a little YouTube moment. Have
we even mentioned that you're an online coach?
We haven't got onto that yet. We're just talking about computers.
Okay, well, next bit.
We haven't even talked about jobs yet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just ruined it all for me there.
Cut.
Shit, go again. Can we go again? Should we talk about jobs?
Welcome.
Well, welcome back. Now I can say welcome back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got to talk about the car ride here.
Oh, okay, let's do that first because it's quite funny.
Oh, but we're going to talk about online fitness roles, jobs.
Yeah, we can do that after.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we'll go into traumatic events first. So the place was booked for 4, and I feel like, you know when people laugh at us when we're like, oh yeah, we're quite organised together. I don't think we are.
You only just realised.
No, because I was like, come to mine for 3 because it's booked for 4. And I messaged at 3:10 like, are you here? Because I'm scared we're going to be late. You're like, yeah, I'm just leaving. And I was like, and this is like...
And then it's taken like, what, an hour and a half to get here?
Yeah, so I was like, basically we're based in Stockport and we had to travel into the city for this lovely venue. And I was like, oh, we'll drive. We'll drive because get on the train. I was like, no, we'll get the train. And then if we miss the stop or me thinking that'll be less
May I just add, I've never experienced, other than my dad, hi dad, someone with road rage quite like yours, Millie.
What? I thought mine was quite tame today.
Wow.
What do you mean?
That
you take us through the traumatic events. Crazy frog, beeps.
Oh, yeah, my God. I mean, the beep was aggressive.
Do you know what? I was so calm when I did it.
Really?
Yeah, like there was actually not rage. Maybe it was passive aggressive.
Yeah.
But I just needed to let him know, like, you've messed up here.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, like that's my way of being like, right, you know what you've done.
Get out the way.
Get out of the car. Just go. So basically it's rush hour and we drove into the city and we were quite late. Luckily it was all fine and they let us stay as we needed
and someone
to do
was
this.
Playing Crazy Frog.
Oh my God, yeah.
I've not heard that song in
There was near
years.
crashes and then we get into the city and this car next to us had Crazy Frog and you're holding on to my... Why were you holding on to my... We're in standstill traffic. She's got her hands holding onto my little handrail thing. What's it called? The little safety.
I'm not too sure.
And she's
it's
like,
a safety bar in your car.
It's a safety bar. She's got 2 hands clinging on. I look over and I was like, are you all right? And she was like, yeah, I'm just comfy here. I was
it
like,
is sometimes, you know how like some people just sort of sit like this, or like you have different ways that you. Mine was just
mine's
like
quite slouchy.
Clinging to
my comfy was just clinging for dear life. Yeah, fairs.
Yeah.
Fairs. And that's when I was like, is my driving really that bad? We're in standstill.
Yeah, no, it was fine. I was just.
Yeah, is this why you always say that you'll drive?
I'll drive. Yeah. You can be passenger princess. It's okay.
Oh, that's my favourite. That's my favourite.
Yeah. It's my favourite for you as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I thought my driving had got a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I have accepted that it's not the best. And I do. No, we won't go
Try.
I do try.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that's just a motto for my life. You do just try, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah.
We do.
That was our traumatic event over here. It's always traumatic, any road trip we have.
Yeah.
Again, that's the reason why we started the podcast, because we've made quite a lot of trips to shows this year, and they have been at least 3 hours.
If not more.
If not more. We've done a whole day where we've been to, where did we go? We went from Manchester to Birmingham for compact shoot. And then from Birmingham we went to Maidenhead for a vow show. And then from Maidenhead we went back,
up to Manchester.
Yeah, Manchester in a day. Had no music on.
Was that in your car? I'm sure it was.
That was your car.
Oh yeah. Oh, we just didn't.
We just don't.
Because we went in my car so that we could listen to music if we wanted. And then we still just chatted shite the whole
I couldn't even tell you. And that's when I was like, we should do a podcast.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of the first times that we were like, we need to film this.
Yeah. Well, it's when we got to Birmingham, it was delirious. Yeah. I think I said Birmingham wrong.
It's okay.
It's alright. I just thought I'd voice that. I think I've done that wrong. But yeah. Should we go into jobs, careers?
Yeah.
What led us into fitness?
Yeah.
Training, all of that thing. Would you like to go first? What do you do, Han? Tell us your multiple roles.
Yeah, I mean, at the minute, working at EP in Stockport again. Another little plug. God,
little plug.
Yeah.
Big up EP.
I know. Best gym ever. Not bias. Slightly. And then just recently delving into the world of posing as well.
Which is very
so
exciting.
kind of watch this space in terms of that. More to come. But yeah, what else was I answering? I can't remember.
So job roles, and then we were going into what got you into training, what got you into fitness.
So I actually have a very sporty background as a kid. I think I must have tried like not every sport, but quite a few. We were like a really sporty family. I was actually such a tomboy when I was little.
Really?
Yeah. Like I did football for ages. I remember having like a football party, you know, at like those AstroTurf places.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like obsessed with Arsenal, had like a signed had like a signed Arsenal shirt.
Wait, did your family support Arsenal as well?
No.
Oh, was it just you?
It was me, maybe my brother at some points, or like Tottenham.
Oh, so it was just you that was like...
Yeah, and then my dad is like West Ham or something. I don't know. I don't follow football anymore, but I was like a proper football
Die-hard.
fan. Yeah.
Arsenal fan. Wow.
Yeah. And then my brother started playing rugby, and so I also played a bit of rugby when I was little. Did ballet, figure skating, horse riding. Yeah,
Stop.
like I've done a lot, and obviously at school we did like cross country and like all the regular like PE type of sports, and swimming as well. I was quite into my swimming, so there was like a lot of sports that already had quite a strict routine in my life.
Yeah.
In terms of like managing it with school and like the demands of those sports and stuff. And then I sort of I moved to uni and just stopped them all really. So yeah, and then it was kind of like after uni and after traveling and like wanting to get back into it, I guess, that I started going to the gym and kind of stumbled upon this crazy world. Yeah, and then here we are.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes I think like people that knew me before, maybe like from uni, were kind of surprised that I went into such a competitive or extreme sport, I guess.
Yeah.
But that was obviously to them, I didn't do any sports at uni. Like I went on the ski trips and stuff, but you literally just go on the ski trips to drink.
I was going to say, you don't go there to ski.
I didn't ski at all. So yeah, I guess it kind of seems strange to them, but like I was brought up, well, again, doing skiing. But pretty much from like the time I could walk, I was doing a sport, and like my first pair of ballet shoes were probably like this. They were tiny. So yeah, that's my sort of background.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that about like you were actually quite sporty.
Yeah, and that's how I broke my arm, actually. The scar that I have.
Oh.
I fell off a horse when I was 10.
Did you actually? Wow.
Yeah, snapped my arm and had to have surgery and stuff. So that was kind of extreme. I'm obviously just.
She's just extreme.
In the extreme.
She just loves. She loves
danger.
She loves any red flags. We love it. We love it. I didn't know that.
Yeah. What about you? What's your background looking like?
The complete opposite.
Really?
The complete opposite. Yeah. So when I get, because I am a personal trainer. Obviously, I haven't said this yet, but I am a personal trainer.
Shh, secret.
So guys, I'm a personal trainer. And I'm an online coach. Plug. Jokes. But yeah, no, when I say to clients, I'm like, they're like, oh, I've never really gotten into the gym. I feel like I'm not going to be that good. Like, I've never really been that good. I'm like, you're literally talking to someone who didn't step into a gym properly till she was, like a proper gym, like until she was 18. Followed what her mum was doing when she was like 15, 16, which was Zumba, because she didn't want to go on her own. Like, I did a bit of the gym, but like, you know, when it's like you're a teenager and you're in pure gym and you're faffing about, and you're not, well, to be fair, the area that I grew up in didn't have a pure gym, so it was like your local. So yeah, like, it wasn't sporty. I was always that kid that was like, miss, can't do PE, forgot my kit.
Really?
Miss, period cramps, can't do PE. I was that little shit. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I wasn't sporty, but because I thought I wasn't good at it, like, I used to hate rounders because I knew I couldn't hit the ball. You know, when you do, that's an ick. It's like, and it's an ick, you know, when you miss the ball. And you know, when you swing and try so hard and you like spin yourself out. And I'd be like, why even try? The only thing I did do was like hockey in year 8, and I had my own stick and everything. Loved netball. Like, when I was young, loved sports, loved it, but I was so bad at it that I was like, what am I doing? Like, I did hurdles once, and every hurdle got took down because I could. Like, in year 10, our last sports day, I got high jump, like, got my name on a trophy, but it's because I was one of the tallest girls, so I was a shoo-in. Yeah. So it was like, I've got to do a little jump.
Because you could literally, like, hurdle a jump that would be my high jump.
Yeah. Literally. Well, apparently not, because all my hurdles got took down. Yeah. But yeah, like, I was just bad at it, and then I think it's quite hard to be bad at bodybuilding. Like, it's hard to be bad at the gym, and I don't like not being good at something. That's my, like, stubborn trait. If I'm not good at something, I will work on it until I'm good at it.
Yeah. And that's one thing that really serves you well in bodybuilding, because there's no
room,
like, end goal almost. Like, even the like elite are being given feedback on things that they can work on. I mean, maybe not all of them, but there's always going to be that next goal or milestone that you're wanting to aim towards. 100%.
And that's the whole thing where, like, if you don't enjoy, almost like, it sounds bad, but like, you are in a sense never really good enough, if that makes sense. There's always something to work on. And I think, like, I really thrive off of like I always say, like, if I look shit, or if I'm don't look good, or don't look whatever, or I'm not performing right, or pull me up on it, like, I want to be good I want to be the best. Not the best, but like the best that I can be. So like at school, if you're not good enough, or you're not good at something, it's you're in bottom set, or you're in like, you know. And I was that kid that was like, I swear I'm trying, I just can't get it right. But yeah, no, not really that sporty. Oh, tell a lie, I did do dance in GCSE. That's what I mean, I did dance GCSE and I was awful at it because I can't dance. Got 2 left feet. You've seen my dance moves as well, and they're pretty horrific. This is when you argue and you say they're not that bad.
No, they're really not. I mean...
Thanks, Sam, for that support. No, but yeah, I did try a lot of sports. I was just never that good at it.
So how did you kind of stumble upon bodybuilding then? Was it literally just some sort of like going to the gym and kind of falling in love with the, like, I don't want to sound cliche, but like the process of building and growing in that way that you sort of ended up down this path?
Yeah, so what was it? It was in my gap year. I'd finished A-levels and I had a year in between like going to uni, and that was like the year that I was saving up before I went to uni. I wanted to live a little bit of life. Like I'd like gone through like a lot during college anyways. So I was like, oh, right. And I got into fitness then and actually taking care of myself and like, you know, what's a calorie? What's protein? Like, cause you learn in school, but you don't properly. I don't think it's really not. And that's something I learned in my degree because I did nutrition as my degree. It's really not taught enough. And I
don't think I ever learned about that in school at all.
You learn about fruit and veg and that's about it, because that's one of the requirements.
But literally only like, this is one of your 5 a day, not like
you learn like what
nutritional values or anything.
No. And like the things that you learn in school is the absolute basics, like your fruit and veg, you know, calcium, that sort of thing. You don't really go into it. You're not taught how to make a balanced plate. You're not taught what protein is. You're not really taught the importance of it. I got like people coming to me, like clients even older, like my age, younger, who I would have been at school with or around that same time, and they're like, I've never learned anything like that. They've never been prepared for it. So during that time I was kind of educating myself anyways, but not in the right way. Like I'd been like in a background of not the best eating, I knew what my fitness power was, but I didn't know how much I should be on. But like, well, if I want to lose weight, and that was my aim, like I want to be the smallest version that I can be. I want to be slim. I don't want to build muscle. I was like, I don't want to build muscle. I got girls coming to me now being like, I don't want to build muscle. I'm like, yeah, but you want to look a particular way. You want to look what we love to describe as toned.
Yeah.
So like, well, you need muscle to look like that. I was like, if we diet you down, we make you smaller, you are going to look the exact same but only smaller version of you. So if you want that shape, funny enough, you have to build it. So I was learning that at the time, and I was kind of introduced to the people I was working with in that job during my gap year. I was introduced into the more fitness industry because they were like friends with YouTubers at the time, and they were quite known in the industry, and so I got to kind of see like this world. And that's when I was like, oh. And I remember at the time I actually took the piss a little bit. And I was like, what? It's like you get up on stage and you're up there half naked and you just, you know, dance around to some music. And I'm like, huh? And then I was like, actually, that's quite cool. And it just led me into like a big wormhole. And I remember, so the person that I knew at the time, he had competed like during that gap year. And then I went to uni after that for that year. The year after, I was kind of like, oh, and it was just like this niggle. And I was training. I got into uni, and that's when I became sporty. And that's when I went into cheerleading. So I did competitive cheerleading, competed in Manchester, and that was the first time I ever went to Manchester. Big up Storm. Cheer. Big up Storm. That was the squad. And I got into the gym. I started on like Grace Beverly.
Oh yeah.
You know when she was Grace Fit? I used to watch her, and she had like her shreddy program.
And like the booty bands and stuff. I remember that was such a thing, wasn't it?
I had all the bands, and that's when I was like getting into fitness. I was following that program, and me and my housemate, who I met in cheer, and who I like ended up living with my whole uni, she was like into the same thing. We both loved health and fitness. During my gap year when I got into fitness, when I was like, oh, I really want to do nutrition. I'm going back to the thing of saying like I was so bad at school. I'm dyslexic, so if anyone hears any stumbles or if anyone hears any
you're good
errors, we'll put it onto that. But I did try, but my science didn't go very well. So then did my A-levels, couldn't do science A-level, which means I couldn't do my nutrition because it's science. So I had to do biomedical science for my first year to get onto nutrition. And then during that time I was learning nutrition, become a PT in that time, biomechanics, like how like bodies, like the anatomy, like physiology, and I loved it. I really loved it. Like it was difficult towards the end, but I absolutely loved that. And then when I was getting coached at the time, I remember just thinking like, oh my god, imagine if I could do that. Like imagine if I could help, because I knew how I felt when someone helped me or like would make me feel better or got me to my goals. And I was like, imagine if I could do that for someone, and that's what made me want to get into that role. So yeah, that's my big story into fitness and why I coach. And
it's quite nice as well that you've kind of come at it from a perspective of wanting to help others. Kind of almost have that light bulb moment like what you've had yourself in terms of realizing, you know, it's about education, it's about knowledge, and it's not about being the smallest version of yourself. Like that isn't how you're gonna get to where you want to be, and sort of supporting people with that in their own journeys.
And do you know what, it's not even just one light bulb, it was so many. It was so many, because I was like, oh, and it was like constantly, I'm sure you've had it as well, like, you know, when you just constantly break barriers that you've had up for so long, where it's like, oh, I didn't think I could do that, and oh my god, I've never had this many carbs, or like I'm allowed to have chocolate with my meal, and it's just silly stuff. And it's those little things where I think women predominantly experience it. It's not little, like I think it's quite life-changing. And so when I get a message just being like, oh, like I'm coming out of a binge restrict cycle, not coming out of it, it's not said like that, but it'll be like, I didn't feel like the need to binge, or I didn't feel guilty when I had an off plan. I'm like, oh, that makes my day. Because I just think I've been that girl. I've been that girl that cries because all she wants is a slice of pizza, but like she thinks she can't because she'll put on 4 pounds. And it's having that education to teach them. So yeah, that's what I love.
I would also say I've had quite a few light bulb moments myself. I guess most of them in my first season, and sort of going through that growing phase, and then doing my first prep and realizing like, oh, you know, I've eaten on plan, but I have also had things like burgers and pizzas, and I'm first of all alive and second of all I've still managed to do something like a prep and it hasn't, you know, impacted me negatively. And just getting into that mindset of like food is fuel to get me to where I want to be. I think that was probably like one of the biggest light bulb moments that was like life-changing for me. And just looking at it in that way, you know, I want to change my body, and I want to change how it looks, and I want to compete, and I want to be competitive, and the only way I can do that is if I fuel myself enough to train. Literally. And obviously like I make it quite known that my training is like my whole world.
My life,
So if I can't perform well in the gym because I haven't fueled myself, then that is something that like really gets to me. Like even now I'm like, oh my god, it was a shit session, but I trained fasted, so it's my own fault. And like putting things in place to make sure, you know, like I'm having 2 meals before I train or something like that, because then I know I'm gonna get more out of my session. So that was probably like one of the main light bulb moments that I have, but also still like practicing it now and reminding myself that it's important.
Yeah. And as well, you were saying like about how it's fueling your sessions. On the topic, again, I think off plans can be a whole topic in itself, but not going after an off plan and being like, now I need to go do cardio, make sure I go train, and I'm going to train fasted because it's going to, like, I'm trying to outwork a bad diet sort of thing, or like burn off what I've just had. Like, no, fuel yourself. And like, you know, we joke and we're like putting that sushi to good use, and it's like, well, you are, like, you're fueling that session, and it's, don't put it down. And also like, don't, because there's so many memories and events that I've ruined because I've been like, even times with loved ones, even things like post prep where like, again, that's such a whirlwind, and it took me so long to make a decision because all in my head was thinking like, oh, I really want pizza, but in my head, like, you're battling that thing of, oh god, I want pizza, but can I have pizza because then my food's not going to go up because my weight's going to go up, and if my weight goes up then he's not going to put my food up, and I'm quite hungry on my day to day, and like all of these things, which I think is a topic in itself. But it's like going through that phase of like, no, you can have that, the weight might go up but it will come back down, and if it doesn't,
it's all part of like growing as an athlete as well, because at the time I think it can feel really like isolating, or maybe like, you know, if I'm feeling like this, maybe I'm not good enough. And I definitely had a lot of those thoughts, and like the self-doubt is real. I'm sure everyone can relate to that, but kind of growing with that and knowing like, no, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough just because it takes you like 10 minutes to decide what flavor pizza you want. And like, it gets so much easier. That is now my favorite question. If someone says they've been for food, I'm like, yeah, but what flavor? Don't just tell me you've been for food. Like I want to know, what have you actually had? That's important. So like, we need to have like an off-plan segment in here. We have so many segments. Like, we need to talk about this. But no, I do completely agree. But it is important to talk about that. And I think even if you're not in prep, or like prep off season, like you're in a gaining phase, like if we ever as well, like when we say it's not bikini orientated or like prep orientated, if we ever say prep or, you know, an off season, that still relates to somebody in a holiday prep or in a dieting phase or in a gaining phase, regardless of what the outcome is for it. It's still relatable in a sense of just, you know, obviously the stage part is a bit different, but it's still all relatable. It's all things that we've gone through. Then again, we are both just bikini girls. We're just bikini. We're just two. I think the mindset stuff we're quite big on. Like when we get serious, it's more so like just two anxious girlies. And like, I never shy away from the fact that like I did go to therapy for like bam. So sorry. This is what happens when we talk about serious stuff. We just can't, like, for 5 minutes. Can't even open the bottle. I did go to therapy for like over a year, and I did do that through my entire first prep as well. And I do think that that really helped me a lot with the mindset of things too, because it was giving me that space outside of just my whole life that I could talk about things in, you know, in that 1 hour. You do, it's separated, and it's like you're not attached, you leave it at the door. You get out what you need to get out, and everything that you learn through that process of going to therapy I still use, like, now, even if it's just, you know, talking to myself about different situations and like speaking to yourself in a different way, handling situations a bit better as well when you come into it, like, especially when it is situations that can cause anxiety and stuff. It's just dealing with them all differently and like learning to take that step back and stuff. Even like even with me, it's helped with relationships and friendships, like being able to
give maybe not the advice that I'm able to take, but give the advice that I would want to hear, or I know I've taken from that and I've learned from that. So I think that's very important. But yeah. Oh my God, we're getting really serious.
I know.
Who are we? It's normally shits and gigs.
Bring on a fun topic.
Get me the snacks.
Yeah. I know, when you started talking about pizza, my stomach was actually like rumbling.
When was the last time you ate?
Probably like 5 minutes ago.
Did you eat just gone to the toilet? Where's the toilets? Can I just
let me just have a jammy dodger.
Oh, don't. What were we going to talk about as well?
My stomach rumbles just like 24/7 though.
This is when the microphone
on board with the off season.
This is when the microphone picks it up. I feel like I'm deep in off season.
No, I know.
Like I'm like,
that's why I mentioned.
I'm ready for a mini cut. And I'm like, good. Get it closer. Get the belly to it. ASMR. Belly growls of ham.
That's a segment in itself.
Or don't. But also Q&As is what we wanted to go into.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for that. So in our next, that's something we want to say. In the next podcast. Episode. Did I say in the next podcast? Yeah. I drift. This is another thing that I do, guys. If you notice, I will drift off into space and I'll become not here. I'm zoned out. No, in the next episode, we're going to do a little Q&A. So when this one comes out, we'll probably be getting ready to film another one. We have got it next week, haven't we? So on the next one, we are going to have questions. So anything and everything. All about us. Snacks, food, life.
I think this first one we can keep it really general.
Yeah.
Just I guess a bit more of a like get to know us type of thing. Like
it's just
what
chilled.
We're going to be about exactly, and then after that we can delve more into the topics. I guess maybe things that come out in that Q&A we can try and break it down and see if we need to discuss any things further. Obviously we've probably mentioned about 25 topics that we're going to speak about.
No, we have
in this anyway. So we'll have like Q&As to actually talk about. At the end of most of them anyway. Just
a little 15-minute little chit chat, little
adding our 2p.
Yeah. I feel like we give good advice. I feel like we give each other good advice.
Yeah, and we don't take it. No. We don't take our own advice.
No.
Because we give each other the same advice.
And we both start the voice note with, I know you know this already, but.
Yeah, we do. I don't even need to tell you all of this, but
just, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No, it's good.
I feel like when we do that, we're also talking to ourselves, though.
Yeah.
Like, I give you advice, but I'm also trying to take it for me too, because I need to do that.
Oh, and I knew... do you ever feel like a little bit of a hypocrite as well? Because I'll be like, no, you can't do that. Or, no, yeah, do it. And I'm like, brother, you've told me to do this. And you're probably sat there like, this bitch, just like, you got the cheek to tell me this. And I'm like...
Yeah.
But you also know I'm
we either start I was about to say the podcast. I mean, our voice notes are podcast. If it's not 10 minutes long, I don't want it.
Do you know what? I buckle up. I'm like, just give me a minute because I'm going for a walk. I'm going to have
I see the recording audio and I'm like, whoa, here we go.
I go, hold on. I need to send a voice note.
And it either starts with...
You won't believe it.
Yeah, or I know you don't need to hear this, or just laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes, because we both are kind of up at the same time. Like I'm normally up around 4 or 5-ish with work, because I'll train before, and you'll either be on your way to EP or you'll be training before you start work. So we're normally up at the same time, and it'll be like, morning.
Yeah.
How are you? I'm just like, we both know what we're doing. We both know,
because our days don't change.
We know our routine, but we're still like, so what are you doing today?
What does your day have in store for you?
Yeah. Just a little comfort blanket.
Yeah. Has to be done.
You'll be in Tesco's and you'll be like, there's no plum and pear water, and I'm absolutely fuming. Sponsored.
Yeah.
Do you like, also guys, I really hope you appreciate the setup. We got lovely pink lights, which is the theme. Obviously. I will be in pink and purpley outfits next week.
We're going to keep it in kind of pinks or nudes, or
get some little...
Try to be like...
little cutesy vibes.
Cute little
girly
outfits.
vibes.
Yeah.
It's little sit down with us.
I feel like that's something that we need to do as well. Like, just
coordinate,
update our outfits, because that's another thing that people seem to really get on board with. Just every time I post like an outfit.
What? Oh my god!
We need to get like little.
Do you know what? Pickies.
Pictures.
Oh no! Yeah, I know. I was checking. You said pickies. I was like, wait, what?
What else would I say?
I don't know. I was like, did you say pickies? Did you say snacks? What?
Huh?
Snacks?
Are we hungry?
Delirious. Oh no, we're in Birmingham now.
Yeah. 9 p.m. zoomies.
Oh, so yeah, I love my 9 p.m.
for you.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like, you know when cats like have like a funny little 10 minutes in the evening? That's me.
Yeah.
Like I could be absolutely shattered all day.
Hits 9 p.m.
And I'm like, oh, let's change the world. I'm like, now let's go. Let me reprogram everyone's plans 4 times over. Send everyone voice notes being like, hi.
Then have a bowl of oats and then
pass
have
out.
Carb coma.
It's the best way to end the day. But the outfit thing, so true. And I love a little bit of a coordination. Like we both coordinated, not together, but like I'm in an all nude.
I mean, in
brownie fit,
a light top and a dark bottoms.
Yeah, I like it. But it's whenever I coordinate or like my outfit is a slay.
I feel like my life is in order.
Oh,
if I have a cute outfit on.
I will have a good day if the outfit is good.
Yeah.
And I never used to be like, I used to joke a lot and I used to be like, oh my god, no, I don't need to do that. I don't really coordinate. I used to wear the same t-shirts, the same leggings all the time. And I'd still enjoy training. But it's a game changer when like this past year when I was like, do you know what? I actually feel really cute getting in a little outfit. And that's okay.
Sometimes people say like, oh, why would you put so much effort into the gym? And it's like, because I want to.
Yeah.
And if I feel good in myself, I'm going to perform so much better.
Yeah.
So if I want to go in a cute little outfit with my hair done, bit of makeup on, probably some Ariana Grande.
Oh.
I'm going to have a good day.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
That's good. I get that.
Because we don't look cute when we're on the leg press. So you have to...
Not with trackies on, that's an ick. We're going to talk about icks as well.
We were
training
going to talk about icks.
Yeah. What was an ick that we said in the car? Oh, I'm spiraling into like so many subjects now. I'm just
hold on. My head's trying to keep track of everything.
We'll talk about cute outfits, but I'm the same. Like if I've got like, if my shoes match my outfit and my hair's not greasy, at least, then it's a good day. Whereas if it's like hair wash day, I need to tan. Oh my god.
Hair wash day. Hair wash day, tanning day.
If we have to go out the day before, I've never seen us both so stressed, and it's the most simplest of jobs. And it's like, today's a rough day.
We've got to wash our hair.
And I've got even worse when it's like a full body shave as well, and I'm like, I've got to throw that in there.
First world problems, but it's like a 4-hour.
It's more than that. It's 24. Oh, dude. Last week we were like...
We start prepping like halfway through the week for the weekend.
I feel like most girls do.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I am that girl. And I can't do it quick.
Just girls.
We are. I must say, I'm more girlier now that I've... Like, because what we've been friends for like a year. Oh, we haven't talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
That came up
was our little
anniversary.
Was that a year though, or no? That was just a year for that picture, wasn't it?
I think it was. Shall I find it?
I think the actual anniversary was PCA back in October.
Well, that's when we met. Oh my god, this is hilarious. It's like we're actually dating. Oh my god, when we first met. No, I tell you what, it was. We went on a training date. We trained together, and that was like our first like
date.
That was our first date.
I'm gonna keep calling it a date.
And that was like 27th of November. We went for the little... Do you remember?
Was it that one then?
Yeah, you look like Violet Beauregard.
Oh my god, do you remember that?
I had my little bombshell red headband. That was me making an effort that day. I put a red headband on with black leggings, and I was like, "Best look cute." But yeah, that was like a year ago. How do we even get onto that?
I don't know.
That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was. Yeah, we trained together, and then we went out for food in like Jan, and then we became more friends. I'd say, like closer, probably like
yesterday.
Yeah, last week. Summer.
Yeah.
Summer, I think we got. Oh, stop. God, stop doing that. Oh, sorry to the listeners.
A tally of how many times you hit the microphone. I had a tally for how many core cakes I failed in prep, and it was quite a few.
How many?
All right, loads. So we'll keep a tally for you.
For how many ding-dings I can make.
Yeah.
Well, that was what, 3?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Clumsy girl. Oh, we were talking about girly fits, making us feel better. Yeah, I think I tried to be like, not tried, but I didn't put that much effort in. I'd be like, yeah, I don't really need to. And then I'd look at all the girls like looking so good and like having all their fits together, and I'd be like, thanks, Queen. And I'd be like, oh, they look so good. Why didn't I do that? And then I started doing it, and I was like, I feel really good. And then just led from that.
And then you get into the depths of prep at like 1 week out, and you just wear a bin bag anyway.
You just look like a pale, naked mole rat. Yeah. There's nothing worse. Yeah, that pre-prep. Oh, have you ever, like, the hair removal process? What's your method? Is it hair removal cream?
No, because I tried it, and it like literally burned my skin. It was like, as soon as I put it on, I started to itch, and it was burning, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this over my whole body. I think I like tried my arm, and it was
really?
Yeah, your gal's sensitive.
She is. Yeah, she is. No, I'm a hair. That was an experience. I've had
the first time you have to do it, I was just like,
when they were saying like you need to do your full body, I was like, wait, you want me to do my arms as well? I was like, what? But yeah, no,
I feel like that needs to be in like a
prep episode.
A prep for prep episode, because that'll be like a first time.
Should we bring all our little goodies in? We'll get like because you're like, you've done quite a few shows where you've tanned yourself, so we'll get the pro tan in.
Like a breakdown of
how
to tan and like my little hand and feet situation.
We'll insert pictures on the side of the YouTube, just being like, this is Han's hand.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then post-prep, reverse.
All the good stuff to come.
Speaking of which, do you think we should wrap it up? Because I feel like we've been yapping. I'm getting hungry.
And we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. So basically, welcome to the podcast, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening.
Or not. If you've made it this far,
if you made it this far, well done.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for this is where we're gonna have our little OGs. Yeah, that's where the OGs start.
Oh my god, yeah. We need to bring in like a catchphrase, but we'll think of that next time.
Yeah, this is our little introduction.
Yeah,
this is just gonna be our little sign off of, share, like, if you like it,
subscribe.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I forgot we were there for a second. But yeah, no, please do. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Please. We're depending on it. And then stay tuned for the next one, which will hopefully be next week. We are planning on doing it so it's coming out before a show weekend when we get to the competitive season, as well as recording it after a show weekend so we can debrief.
Yeah. Oh, because that was where it started, wasn't it? Car debriefs. Whew. So yeah, welcome.
Oh, cool. Yeah, welcome. Goodbye. Hello.
Thank you.
Good night. No, but yeah, no, thank you guys. And like, comment, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one. We're gonna stay tuned. Oh, also our Instagrams, so that when we put up questions for the pod, this is where you can drop it in. So mine is Millie_Sharwood.
Mine is Han Cuthbert Bikini.
Lovely. And then we will have our joint Instagram account too, which is
TBC.
No, it's It's our name.
I know, but we need to make it.
Yeah, true. We do.
So
we've got the podcast at least. We just need to get the Instagram set up. But it will be 2 blondes are better than one.
Yeah.
And yeah, please do all the fun stuff. And we will catch you in the next one.